our camera's set up.
Good morning, Slotheads. How's everybody doing this Saturday morning? I hope everybody had a great week. We are ending it right now on a Saturday with these two gentlemen. Pete is not here. Unfortunately, he had some prior engagements with the family. We all understand. Family trumps slot cars. Sometimes it just happens. We have Raul and Warren as a special guest tonight. This
Today,
morning.
this
How's
morning.
everybody doing? Raul, how you feeling, my man?
I'm just fine. Thank you very much, Joe.
Excellent. I'm good, man. I'm good. Warren, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for being
I'm doing great, Joe. Roll. Good morning. Good morning, all. Yeah, fueled by coffee.
here. Yeah, definitely fueled by coffee for sure. What's going on? What's been going on this week with you guys? Warren, you got a lot going on.
Oh, I got tons. I moved. I got the bigger shop now, so we're busy setting that up. The shop, man cave, slot car lab, whatever you want to call it, all in one. Where I've been spending most of my time. So
Awesome. We've been seeing those pictures you've been posting on Facebook and the Discord, and
yeah. So just been getting a lot of work, framing, insulating, making it little, the aesthetic portion of it, making it more comfortable. The rest of it, got the main track set up, so it can host racing, and then I'm setting up another track to the left, but that's like it's all in flux because every time I set something up, and then I'm like, wait a minute, no, I want to change that, and then I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should go with the hybrid thing and put scale electric, or not scale electric, scale auto track in it, because I have the conversion pieces, and I wanted to try it. It's kind of tacky, and then I'm looking where I can put in. I'm calling it a sandbox, and basically it's going to be a board big enough. What I think the dimensions are 9x7 for the GRL.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so something along that size anyway. With an edge, a big board with a carpet. I'm gonna call it a sandbox, and then I'll have all the tracks underneath it, like a Go track, scale electric track, polycar, scale auto. You can try.
Someone can come in and try before you buy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really awesome.
Make your own, and I'll have so there'll be 143. I also have I have SEX compact that I found in my storage container. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Like,
Are you open right now? Or like, can people come and hang out? Or
yes, I am, but I haven't done an official launch or anything. I'm talking to the local radio station, and I gotta set a date. That's gonna be in the next week or two to do an official launch. But yeah, I'm open. I've had some of the locals come in already, and
nice.
so they all pop in. And I had race nights on Tuesday, but that's a private group that races.
Okay, cool.
And then I'm gonna just look at hosting race nights on any night that anybody wants to. So and any class, I'll let them decide. It's like a clubhouse. Come hang out.
Right on. What about you, Raul? What's new and kicking?
Nothing much.
Nothing. What models you got on your desk right now?
I don't have models on my desk right now.
You're in your upstairs studio instead of your downstairs studio. But I mean, which models are you working on now? For your 40K.
We're not here to discuss 40K.
Okay. Oh my God, he has to correct me. I'm just asking what's going on. I know you build models. I'm just asking the question. Here you go. What's happening in the slot card world with you?
Absolutely nothing.
That's not true. I know that's not true.
Why? How do you know? What
Because
inside information have you been
you're
getting?
friends with?
Which guy? He's not my friend.
That good-looking guy?
He's not my friend anymore. He's my
Why don't
partner.
you tell the good people what you've been up to?
He's my partner, not my friend anymore.
Oh,
it's all business now.
Oh, it's all business.
We're not friends anymore. Yeah.
Don't talk to MP about MP like that. He's a good friend, you know it.
Yeah, well, MP was here. You do 40K. Told you, asked me if I do 40K. Yes, I do 40K. I am. I'm interested in going for a tournament. There's a grand tournament at the end of March, but I promised myself 6 months before I go to tournaments because I just started again. But I'm almost tempted. That means I have to paint my whole army before the end of March. So that will be
Yeah.
pretty big undertaking. But
Todd, for if you didn't know, Raul is a Canadian world champion of
I used to be,
used to be about
yeah,
5 years in a row.
3 years in a row.
3 years in a row.
Canada's number one.
There you go.
I was top 10 in the world as well.
You
So
want to talk about nerds right here, guys? We're nerding on every aspect, on every plane. We just go there and we own slot cars, board games, 40K.
talking about that. I lost every dice thrown match yesterday.
Oh, you
I
had the
played my
tournament?
first tournament yesterday. It was so funny. So I decided to go nice. I told you, right? I wasn't
Yeah.
going to take any of the OG characters. So I walk in there. I take Storm, which I've only played once before.
Mhm.
Psylocke, I played once before, and Rogue, who I've never played. So I walk in with these three characters, right? And guess what I face? Cursed Pirate, Artificer. Like, I was like, what is going on? But each one of my match. So my first match, I got the guy down to 3 health on the gunslinger,
Mhm.
and then I hit him with 12, and he had 3 evasives, and
Oh,
he evaded the first one, no. Second one, no. Third one, yes. I was like, oh, of course.
sounds
If you have 3
familiar.
tries a
Sounds
day,
familiar.
yeah. Anyway, so we'll talk about that on Thursday night. So if you
Okay.
know me and Joe, we play Dice Throne on Thursday night. So if you're interested, you can follow us on another channel. But
Absolutely.
yeah, like my world of hobbies is rich. But as far as slot cars, Massimo was here on Wednesday. The rental track is packed up, ready to go. We're all getting set for Tuesday night's dry run.
There you go.
We have
I wish I
about
could be there.
we have about 10 racers coming out. It's just a test run at the venue. We're seeing how the setup is. We have a bunch of friends that are coming over to test it out. We have a bunch of people that work there that will be testing it out, and we'll see how everything works.
Yeah.
All
I'm hearing
a big
is
shout
future-
out.
All I'm hearing is future tourable GRL. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty decent sized track. Like Massimo tried the track as well. We had a lot of good runs on it. It's a lot of fun. Given that it's only 12 feet by 5 feet, which is kind of tight for a Carrera track,
Yeah.
but it's portable, so it's on
but-
full white tables.
And you're exposing this to new people, right? You're out there exposing this to new people for entertainment. Guys are coming, bachelor
Yeah.
parties, birthday parties,
Yeah, so
corporate events. So that it doesn't. You have to make it easy. I think you got to make the track easy, or else
the
people
track
just-
is very simple. A lot of fast straights, a lot of tight turns, but it's simple. We have quite a bit of track on a small table size like that.
Mhm.
We have 4 straights on it, so it's like Massimo loves the track, and I think it's a good track. It's a great starter track. So we'll see how it goes. But like I said, Tuesday will be the dry run. We'll find out.
All right.
We're running 124 and 132nd.
Oh, nice.
Sorry.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, because yeah, we want to test both. Obviously, 124 would benefit from a larger table, but we do have like tiered packages going out. So we're running our 12 feet by 5 foot table is our standard package. But if you do want an upgrade, you can go up to 16 feet. Is it 16? Yeah, something like that. 16 by 6 or something like that. We can go wider. And then we allow you to pick 124 cars. And even we're doing Formula One, and so that means we bought a whole bunch of new Formula One cars that we have to bring in. Warren's gonna be a bit busy because we have to talk. MP is gonna be talking to you, Warren, because we have a whole bunch of stuff that we want to get in for
That'd be
this.
awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah, because we'll
Shop
need to
local.
get for sure. Like
Support us. Thank you.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. It's a hot
Yeah.
topic. That's great, dude. So, guys, anybody who wants, has a birthday party, has some kids, just call up Raul. He'll pack everything in the plane. He'll get to your place. He'll do the weekend party. And,
So the cool thing about this is you talk about packing. We're able to fit everything in two crates. And that means I have double digital bases. I have 6 controllers. I have all the charging stations. I have a power supply with variable power supply going in. I have 2 blocks. I have everything doubles of everything,
Oh my God.
double Bluetooth connectivity. Everything's double. So we have a 32-inch monitor. We have everything
You guys are
ready to
pro.
go. We have our own MacBook Pro that runs only Smart Race, like everything set up. So
Right
it's
on,
a
brother.
pretty sustained little
Self-contained.
unit.
That's awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
so that's the transport is nothing at that point. That's amazing.
Yeah, so it fits there. As long as we're not taking the tables, we also have the 4 tables, but because we're going, most of the venues we go to
Mhm.
have tables for us. So that's going to be the tricky part on Tuesday, whether their tables are actually in line with what we have
Mhm.
or not. So that's going to be the tricky part, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
So
cool. Well, dude, good luck with that. Like I told you before, I'm sorry the timings didn't work out, or else I'd love to be there and give you guys a hand and just transport and watch the whole thing go down and be like an emergency backup if anything. But I think you guys will do great. You've done parties before. You're sociable. So is Massimo. So is Serena. She's a social media butterfly. She's amazing. And I think you guys will do really great. I think that's pretty awesome that you're bringing slot cars into the community. Like Warren is opening up a shop. You're taking it on the road. And I'm just a consumer. So
well, I always wanted to do this. Like, I always wanted to bring slot cars to the masses. That's the way I look at it. Because if you don't get exposed to it, which is the problem with our hobby, I think it's just lack of exposure. Like, yeah, we do YouTube, but then YouTube is very niche too. Like,
Yeah.
if you look at the amount of viewership, like you can check your channel stats. I can check my channel stats, right? There's very few of us, except maybe the bigger channels like MPs and all that attract a wider audience, but then they're attracted for a very brief period of time. If you look at their actual numbers and views on their videos, unless your video has Disney or something like that, you're not attracting a very broad audience,
Mhm.
right? It's always the same. So this is a way to forcibly take it to a broader audience, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
And I think I was inspired by Ian and Doug. Both me and MP were inspired by Ian and Doug from Magnetic Racing, and they have been, and I wanted to say this in the beginning, they have been absolutely supportive of us. Doug has reached out to me several times, giving me ideas of how to make it better. So it's really cool that we're not like we were like when MP and I had started this, we were very cognizant that we didn't want to step on anyone's toes, right? Like we're not trying to, we're just trying to do our own thing. And Ian and Doug have been like absolutely like top tier in the
Yeah.
way they've helped us. I cannot ask for more. And both me and MP were very happy and blessed by that. So we want to say a big shout out and thank you to both of them. We don't
Yeah.
know where this is going. It's our first show on Tuesday. We might hate it. We might like it, but we've decided to give this year that dedication and see what happens after the year is done. So MP and I will do our best this year to do
I
as
think
many shows as possible.
I think there might be a fine gap, right? You've got to worry about the rowdy 10-year-olds who are might take a car and run away with it, or you might have to worry about the rowdy 40-year-olds that are like way too drunk to be on the track. Depending on what kind of party it is, right? I mean, that's what
Yeah.
you put extra magnets on the car just so they don't like lift off the table or something.
Yeah, we've done our best to like
Yeah.
bring robust cars as well
No, of course, Carrera
and stuff.
can't go
So
wrong.
yeah.
Can't go wrong. All right, let me just go to the chat. Let's get to the chat and say hello to everybody. We've got. Oof, I'm looking at the comments, and this might take a minute, guys. What's going on? We got Chris. Thanks for being here. First one, as always. Easy E's in the house. How you doing? Ripples from upstairs. Slightly mad, guys. How you doing? How are ya?
Where's Easy?
Slaughter, how you doing, buddy? He's listening while painting the shed. You're finally painting the shed. Good for you, buddy. It must be not raining where you are right now. Mr. Anthony, how you doing? Mr. Bateman, good to see you. So fast, Ron. Always a pleasure. HSF, good to see you, man. Thank you for joining. We got Mr. Tucci in the house. Good run. And Cyberg, my GRL boys. Good stuff, guys. That's right. We have a meeting after Saturday morning cartoons, so stick around for that. Well, the GRL guys. you guys. What's going on, Todd? Metal. Thanks, dude. Thanks for joining in. Much appreciated. If I miss anybody, again, I'm so sorry. MB, how you doing, man? Thank you so much. Radhead has been awesome. He's got a really awesome channel. He's got some really cool racing. Go check him out. Radhead Slot Racing on YouTube. Please, please, please do it. G Money Smackdown. Good to see you, buddy. Sorry, I cut myself off. I'm rambling so much. I cut myself off. But Radhead, go check him out. G Money, that's Keith's brother. That's good. Like Spots is here. That's Warren. Mike, good to see you. I'm still waiting for pictures of your track on the Discord, buddy. If you put them and I missed them, I'm sorry, but I want to see those. I want to see those planes, those models. Are we good? Tony Droney, how you doing, buddy? Thank you so much. All the way from another Australian checking our channel. Awesome. Just I can't believe it. Big Oak, Mike, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Mike wants to play in the sandbox. No kidding.
Yeah. I can't keep up with all the comments, so I'm just going to say
this is like I'm really sorry
go through afterwards.
Anybody, but like you guys are just turning up. Doug, hey Doug, nice. Is that a new logo? No drama. Watching from the Tesla at the charging station. Sweet. Can you plug in a track at that point? I mean, if you're at the charging station, could you just put a track like Slot R did in his van, and then just have it like? Can Teslas be running tracks? Shallowfish, how you doing, brother? White Wolf, good to see you. Slot Car Dojo, thank you so much for being here, guys. Oh my goodness, here we go, and I think we're all caught up. Nice. Yeah, so today we're talking about continuing off of what seems to be a hot topic of pricing, because you're talking about, going out in the world. Warren's opening up a shop, and Warren, hey, look who showed up. Show me slot cars. Good to see you, Pete. I know you're busy. Thanks for popping in, checking up on his baby. I know. Hopefully I'm doing a good job hosting without you, brother. I got Raul. He's awesome. We got no one to ring the bell, so Warren will do it vocally if ever he feels that we're getting rowdy. But Warren, I did notice something when you were doing a walkthrough of your shop today, about pricing and all kinds of stuff. There are some slot cars, and I think I have to call you out on this. I'm sorry. This is unscripted. Are all those cars on your website? Because there's some cars that I would like to look at.
The itchiness of Joe has appeared.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, I have not. I've been, bro. I'm lacking in my entry game, so I have to just. But it's been. I've been trying. I have boxes and boxes still unpacked here, and I have to get them up on the website. Don't have them on the website.
Okay,
that is absolutely me. Yeah. Thanks, Joe. Just
well, no, I mean, keeping all the good stuff.
Is that like a frontal assault or is that a backstab? I'm not sure.
No, it's I want to spend money. Hurry up, show me everything you got.
I bet you he was watching Warren. He was watching a video like this.
There's a lot.
He does this when he'll stand in front of my wall and he'll do this. Like he gets anxiety, he gets itchy fingers. So he was probably watching a video and doing one of these.
That's all warm and fuzzy. He gets the warm and fuzzy from the car.
He gives himself a self.
Before. I'm like, oh.
He gives himself a self hug. He's like, "Oh, Joe, if only."
My precious.
Everyone's supporting Jen. You keep the prisoner in line. You tell him, Jen, yeah. Joe, no cars for you. I've actually been doing pretty good, guys. I
just built on myself. Sorry.
I've actually been doing pretty good. My next video coming out is a review of a car that Warren sent me. And if you guys haven't seen MP Slot Car's review of the Revo slot, we're doing a review and swap that Warren sent
I wasn't included in any of this. I'm not important anymore.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my gosh.
I feel very, very slighted by this, Warren.
Oh my god.
You and me, we're gonna have some words. Not only did you come to Toronto, you didn't come see me. You went back.
Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding. Hold on a minute. Ding, ding, ding.
Where's the bell? Where's that bell?
It was a matter of timing, and traffic in Toronto, it was like just crazy. So
Dude, you're crazy.
I
You
had
drove
an event
4
the next
hours,
day,
got to
so I
Toronto.
came back and I was there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have stayed over.
You came to Toronto 4 hours.
Okay,
Drove
I'm
traffic.
keeping notes. I'm like a dwarf. I have a book of grudges, and you just made an entry. I just wrote an entry. Warren light tech slots. Grudge
There is-
points 1. There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Don't worry. There's a
Okay.
whole section dedicated for Joe, so don't worry. You're not
Okay.
that far yet. I have a full section dedicated just for Joe. All his grudges.
What I gotta get some crystals and some mushrooms to reverse that spell.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, the Nemus car, farther and farther away. I'm sorry, guys, but the Nemus car was sold on Electric Dreams, so I have no choice to wait unless
The
I get.
7-Up one, the
Yeah,
F1.
yeah, it's sold out. So I either have to get the Nigel Mansell. It's that
But you know,
independent.
Skill Auto came out with one of those 7-Up ones.
Yeah, but it doesn't have independent suspension. It's not a perfect car that you just put on the track. And this is like
Vanguard came
luxury.
out with a Toyota Yaris rally car with independent suspension. There you go. Try that one out first. Maybe you should try something a bit less so that you know how to drive it when you actually get something like a Michael Nemus car.
The independent four-wheel drive might help them.
Oh,
I-
Quattro's
It's a
always
piece of
good,
art
right?
that I get to drive around the track. And speaking of a piece of art, okay,
I've seen the tuning,
this is one
Joe.
of the things, and I wanted to get Warren's opinion. And we're going to talk a little bit about pricing. We're going to talk a little about what's coming up. But I want to start the conversation about the car that I got off you, Raul, and how I think
there you go.
price gouging and this whole thing of collecting and why a car is worth
You
more than
calling me
another.
price gouger? I'm gonna come over here and beat you.
It's a little, I'm not calling anybody out, but okay. So let's take the slotted 512, beautiful car in Sunoco livery here. Okay, that I got off your shelf, Raul.
Yes.
I can't wait to run it. Number 6. Okay, 512 Ferrari. Now, I was like, I got to have a running mate for this car, and for sure that they make it in red. And I found it online, eBay, the Evil Bay, and some other stores. And these guys want something like $180 to $200 American for this car. Now, the red livery, I don't know. Was it like Michael Andretti's first or Michael Schumacher's first? He wasn't even born then. Is it somebody's famous was driving the red Ferrari, or is it just because it's red? Because on the same site, the yellow one, right, that I found, a yellow Ferrari, the 512, goes for $69. Then the red one goes
so you
for
have to
$109.
understand. You have to
And then
understand.
the new red Ferrari goes for $79. What is
you have to understand when that car came out. That it was the first one released off the mold. That also it was the car of the year that year. Like you have to understand that all those things that slot car has as accolades, and unfortunately, remember, we only get limited runs of these cars, right?
Yeah.
Why did you take us off the screen?
I didn't think it was a screen.
Oh, what
Hold on.
happened?
What happened?
Hey,
I just clicked on Show Me Slot Cars.
comment.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah. So sorry, it was just my end, maybe.
Don't scare me.
Yeah. So you have to understand, like the car only releases X amount of cars off that livery, right? So
Mhm.
as a livery goes out, then the rarity of it increases, right? It's like
Thanks,
let's
Mike.
just talk about a hockey card, right?
Mhm.
Let's just take a hockey card, like the Wayne Gretzky rookie card. What is it worth today?
Okay, but hold on a minute.
No. Let's just have a conversation.
You're not comparing a
What?
slot card to a hockey card of Wayne Gretzky specifically.
Okay, so let's take anybody else, like someone who's come out in Sidney Crosby's rookie card. How much is that worth?
I don't know. I don't follow the
Exactly, it's worth a lot more than you would expect. It's not the $5 pack that you opened, right? You are lucky if you got for $5, right? It's like, well, you play Magic. It's the same situation, right? A Black Lotus card today is worth $200,000, right? But if you opened it in 1995 and you got it in a pack, you're lucky, right?
Okay, so you're explaining like that was okay. So you're giving a little bit of history about that card.
That's
Why it's expensive.
collectibles. That's collectibles. What you have in a slot car is a collectible. You must always remember that. Any hobby is a collectible, right? So it's the
Um,
same thing with even Games Workshop hobby.
Soju.
Games
Yeah.
Workshop models have the same situation too. There's some that are very rare and they will be always more expensive than you would ever find when
And
you originally bought them.
and I get that, but I don't. But there is a value to it, right? Because that card of Wayne Gretzky, and as he does better, and as it gets older, the price will go up. Fine, but there's a difference when there is no equality in that actual price. Like on the internet, it's like
No, there
wild,
was
wild west,
equality.
right?
When it came out, that car was worth $79 when it came out. It's
Yeah,
just
so
that you
there's
didn't.
only one site that I think is actually reasonable, that the price is actually reasonable at 109 American dollars. But I remember, Fantasy Flight Games, while playing the Star Wars, there was one specific ship, the Y-wing, that everybody wanted, but because it was out of print, it was on eBay for $200. This is a $20 little model, and on eBay, if you wanted it, if you really wanted to fly it in the tournament or whatever, because there wasn't that many ships out, people were gouging for $200. That's insane. I don't think anybody in the right mind that.
You've heard of the word supply and demand, right?
Yeah,
You
but the
know that
supply is
terminology,
coming. The
supply
supply
and
is coming.
demand. So as the supply it diminishes and demand decreases, what happens to price and fluctuation in price?
I mean, I know, but like who?
Well, why is it so surprising for you that that is happening and you can't understand it? Like
I
supply and
understand
demand
it.
is
What
everything
I'm
in
saying is
life.
that it's not like that person already is going to make the money and the profit on that car, right? As it
Yeah.
gets rare, hey, you
So,
can jump it up
so
10,
you
20
think
bucks.
capitalism is a
I'm saying
bad thing?
you're hurting the hobby by waiting for the guys. I don't know, like we
As a
want.
collector, I strongly disagree with you in that statement. Strongly disagree, because as a collector, it's like Warren. Like let's talk about Carrera, right? Carrera releasing the Pink Pig and the Rothmans Porsche 911 RSRs, right?
Mhm.
You could buy them for $85 when they first came out, right?
Yes.
Now what are they worth, Warren?
Oh gosh, I've seen them anywhere. I've seen them all over the place from 149. You can get them
Are
149.
they
Not going to
$85
mention the name
anymore,
because it's
Warren?
that auction, whatever the
Are they $85?
huh?
No, they're not. They're not $85 anymore.
No, the
Right?
149 all the way up to like
Yeah.
249.
So Joe, why would you be upset if you missed out on that first release? Why is it that you feel upset that you have to pay more for it?
Well, here's the issue. I missed out on that first release, but clearly the cars are still haven't been totally sold. So why are you still gouging my price when the car is still in your stock on the shelf? That car should be totally sold out, and I should have to wait for a reprinting. But unless they're selling on the secondary market, but these cars are still being sold as new, so people are collecting these cars
They are
waiting.
new. They're new.
There's definitely people out there that are speculators that are
Yeah.
speculating with the cars. You can see it on like because for
I
me
mean,
we
Okay, but
we follow it, right?
so
and
take
that's fine for now.
Legos.
But how long do you think that model is going to last or work?
Can you
Because
guys hear me?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. On if you look, there are
Scott,
guys
how
that
you doing,
there's
buddy?
definitely guys, and I don't want to mention names, but there's definitely guys that do speculate on that market, and you saw it with the F1 cars and they're buying from Carrera because they're actually dealers, or they have a dealer, even though they don't have a physical store, they have a dealer license, so they can purchase at dealer pricing, and because they purchase large volumes and they sell them on eBay and on their online store. Um, you can see like anytime there's stuff that when I used to buy from the States, you could see it. We would get our list of what's going to go on clearance, and it would literally be sold out in 20 minutes. And it was always the same guy landed up with the same car. So it's like, let's say something's going, what do you call it? They're going to be discontinued. So when it gets discontinued, it's going to be marked down, and sometimes they massively mark down. And it's fantastic for dealers to be able to pick up those cars if they can actually get access to them. But these other people seem to swoop in, buy them up, and they look like maybe they get first dibs because they got the seniority. There's obviously a pecking order, and so they get them, and then they've got them on their site, and then they've got them reduced by $20 under retail or $15 under retail. So they're still moving the inventory, but they've got a larger margin to play with, right? And where the mom and pop guys and everybody else doesn't have that opportunity, and then if they're not paying attention or they don't check their email that day. But I to be honest, I've gotten the email and I've called within 20 minutes and it's been sold out when we used to get that, and now that Borgfeld's taken over, there's even a larger cushion or buffer or whatever lag time, if you want to call it that, because I'll get the list once Borgfeld gets the list, who gets it from Carrera USA, and then they send it to us. And then by that time, a couple of days have passed by, and we're never, I've, like every single time I've asked for, I was like, no, gone, nothing, gone, sold out, gone. We'll check for you. Oh, we didn't even know about that. Oh, sorry, it's gone.
Well, that's it. So it's like there's this back end dealing going on.
It's not that. No, I don't want to call it. I
Not
want to say it's
back-end
nefarious.
dealing.
Not dealing, but like, you know,
Oh my
the
God, like,
supply and
I-
demand that's not evenly spread. Okay, but like
It's not. Yeah.
even
So,
before that, right?
like
That definitely plays a part.
yeah,
right?
like with the F1 cars, all the guys bought the F1 cars in the States.
And I called it that they were coming out with a release, and that's why they did that release. They flushed it.
Yeah, yeah. So that's so with the F1 cars, we found out they were re-releasing them. We were like, oh, everybody was excited. It was, people started posting pre-orders, and so a lot of people jumped on the pre-order because they wanted to ensure that they were going to get it. I had guys calling me, how many are you going to get? I said, look, I've ordered. I don't know, because I don't get a guarantee. I'm just a little guy. It's literally,
Yeah.
oh, I'm just a small portion of the hobby. Anyway, so but I did order, and I was guaranteed that I would, everything I pre-ordered I would get. But I couldn't. There's no ways I could order 100. I don't. Not going to happen. And then so I got what I got, and I sold out everything. I have Vettels left. I have Sebastian Vettel. So anyway, and I've priced those, and then some people have been like, I priced those according to what everybody else is selling them in on the market. So, and I tried. There's a lot of factors for me that I have to contend with that other dealers don't have to deal with. Canada is a different animal altogether, because we get now what's happening with all the threats of the tariffs, and because our government, like, I don't want to get into politics, but they're using really provocative language. And I just keep reminding everybody, hey, do you guys remember the last time we won a tariff war? It's like, can you name me that one time we won that tariff war? Because they're calling it a tariff war, and it's like, I think that
Okay.
there's no diplomacy. You need diplomacy. You can't.
Sure. And I just hold that thought for a second. I just want to go back to the thing and see what the guys in the chat think about it. And I just want to say my 2 cents. Okay, there's a difference, because now I think that a Carrera car, like the green, the Proton, now is being discontinued. Right? That's the
and the prices have gone up. I
sold
out on those.
You guys are really lucky. And
Sorry.
that's fine, because Carrera has said, hey, this car is stopped production. So it's like, well, wait a minute. Now it becomes a rare item. Okay, I get that. But it's those guys that will jack it to, just drop another $100 on there. I don't think that's healthy for the hobby. Okay, if you're a shop owner, up it a couple bucks. Say, well, why is this one more expensive? That's a rare one. That goes in the rare section. Fine.
Okay.
It makes the collectible a collectible. Okay, and now that adds that to the hobby.
Here's a counter argument for you there.
I haven't even finished my point. Wait, ding, ding, ding. I haven't even finished my point.
What's your point?
You've got a Ferrari. You've got a Ferrari here by Slotted. Beautiful car. Okay.
Mhm.
There's a difference between, this was a Ferrari, let's say, this is an officially licensed product from Porsche. If you own this card like you own a Gretzky card, you're actually owning a piece of history. I'm not saying you're not owning a piece of history. You guys know I love the art and all this. Maurizio did a fantastic job. This is a great looking model. Unfortunately, he cannot put the Ferrari label on here. This cannot be sold as a Ferrari. This can actually be sold as a Porsche. So why are we putting value in the hobby of like, well, this is a better competitive runner versus this is not? This is a toy because it's most likely, you know what I mean? This is a licensed thing. You want to own a piece of Porsche, buy a piece of buy a Carrera. You want to own a piece of Ferrari, this officially licensed that comes in this nice box. Well, you can buy a Carrera, and now you have some memorabilia and you have some you have an officially licensed Ferrari product. This I can understand going up in price and being a little ridiculous because like, oh, okay, well that's super rare, but yeah, there you go. But that's reserved
Look
for the
here,
GRL, isn't it?
look here. I'm sold out of them. This is the last one left. They're $95. There's the price tag right on mine. Where's the camera? Oh
Yeah,
God.
that makes sense. From
So
85 to 95, an extra $10.
they're on the those other sites. They're I'm on the American site.
You'll
I'm not
never win
using
this argument,
the
Joe.
Chinese ones.
Because then you should go after Lego and say, why is Lego pricing going up? Why do I buy this piece for $40?
The Lego, it's its own brand.
But
That-
why?
Lego's its own brand, right?
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Like,
We don't. Who is the center in slot cars though? Who is the center? We're all Carrera guys here. All
but you're
most of
not.
them-
But now you're asking about a center in slot cars.
Well, Lego branches out and buys IP. They'll buy Ferrari F1. They'll buy Star Wars. They'll buy movies. They'll buy. They have their own personal sets. They've allowed their customers to come in.
I
and
don't
create
understand
on
your argument. I don't know why you like
I'm
what
not-
the argument
I'm
is.
just trying to.
Because if you're collecting the hobby, you're collecting the hobby. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter where the car comes from. The rarity of the car is what makes you a collector of it, right?
Yeah, but then that's because you put value in the person
So
who's creating
if
that
you
car.
watch Shenanigans, if you saw Shenanigans, you would have seen that Pete pulled up a site where a electric car is worth 350 pounds.
Ridiculous.
And not
Oh,
only
what?
one, it was a whole page full of them. Right?
So my personal opinion, electric cars do not perform as well on my track and my
Yeah,
experience.
but you're not talking from a collecting standpoint. You're just talking as a hobbyist. There's a big difference there. When you're
Mhm.
just talking as a hobbyist that I just want to run cars on my track, 100%. Then
Okay.
don't buy the car that is worth so much money. It's not like the 512 doesn't come out in other liveries. In fact, they're releasing another red and blue livery.
Yeah, which is cheaper than the
Right.
original one.
Because the red and baby blue, not the red and the gold, which was their first release and was pertaining to a certain livery in a certain time period.
I know,
So
but I
it
just want
is.
the red one because I like the way it looks. I could
Go
care
get
less
the
about
red
what
and
it
the
is.
blue one. It's coming out. Like
Well,
there's
no, but I
no
don't like.
big
I
deal.
prefer the original one.
Then
But
get
this is my
gold rims
dilemma.
from
If I
Stat
burn-
Slots and put them on the
I
red
burn-
and blue. Like
I know,
come
but look,
on.
the thing is, if you're a collector of models,
Then you
because
don't.
like-
If you're
hold
not
on.
a collector, then why are you getting so stressed out about a car that's coming out that's worth so
if
much
I'm gonna,
money?
I am a collector. Hold on, I am a collector to a certain point, right?
You-
If I'm a collector of slot cars, right, and I enjoy the slot car, there's a different. Sorry, Warren, I meant to cut you. There's a difference between nobody who is a collector of model cars who wants to have a piece of that history would buy a electric car at $300 when they can get a die-cast metal model somewhere else, more detailed, because this car actually has the value and the added value that you can actually play with this car.
Oh my
and actually
God,
function
you're-
on something.
You're jumping between one hobby and
No,
another hobby,
no,
and
that's
another
not-
hobby, and another
Well, no,
hobby.
because we're
No,
slot car
It's not
drivers.
fair. So
The
it's not fair to the
collectors in this
hobbyist.
hobby are slot car racers. They're not buying cars just because
That
they
is
look
not
good.
true. That is not true. And this is why me and Slot R had a problem with this. I said there's different layers in the slot car hobby. Some people will be slot car enthusiasts that will run their cars and wreck them and race them and do all that. Then there's some people just collect it for the collecting sake, right?
Yeah,
Why
but
do
they
you
still
want a
have they
Michael
still have a
Nemes
track.
car then? Are you going to race your
Warren,
Michael
Warren,
Nemes
Warren,
car?
go. Chime in, please.
Time out. The thing is, you got to accept the fact that regardless of what you believe the value is or what your personal preference is, there are people out there that will pay that, and there are people out there that want that for whatever reason. Maybe it's something like I've had passion purchases where I'm like, I see something and I'm like, oh my god, I have to have that, and it's literally. And I've gone to enough collector shows and events that I'm in my mind now. I've said to myself, if I'm looking for something specific or I see something that just sparks that flame in me,
Mhm.
I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna buy it at whatever price it is because it's something that I haven't seen in a long time, or it's the first one I've seen, and I might not get that chance again. So I'll pay. I'm gonna go over and talk to that vendor, like I'm talking at a show or whatever, and maybe I can get a bundle price or I can get a better price for cash or whatever. But I'm gonna try and pick it up, and it's got to be something that you're really, really, really passionate about. Like for me, it was 917s. If I could find 917s, I love 917s, and it's like, oh, I gotta get, I'm trying to get literally all the liveries. I know it's impossible.
Totally impossible.
Same way if you go on eBay and you just change your filters and go look at highest price, you'll see some stuff. You'll be like, wow, holy cow, how's this guy even asking $392? But you know what? Someone's out there might pay that. And sure, is he being a fisherman, just throwing out a bait, right? And then he's looking for the right fish.
Mm-hmm.
Is somebody willing to pay that? Sure.
I understand that, but
some
at this
billionaire
point,
might be sitting at home and he wants that 1977 Lancia, Monte Carlo from Spa. He's like, I want to pay for that.
yeah, but do collectors of hard models and diecast models collect
Oh,
stock
absolutely.
cars?
Yeah, and you look at the diecast stuff. I've got my one neighbor down the street. He's got 118, 112 scale cars that are like in the double digits. They're over.
Oh yeah, Pierre, that
over
we got the cars off of. Pierre, we got the cars off of. He's got a beautiful 250 Ferrari.
Yeah.
The price that he wants to sell, this thing is. I looked it up. Is worth $2,000. He's selling it for a really good price, like under
What
$1,000.
scale is it?
This big. It's pretty
That
big.
like 110.
It's almost 110. If it's not 110,
That's well, depending on the model, that's a really good price.
yeah, because that's what I'm saying. It's
Like if it's an exotic
you
or
open it up, it looks like the car's, it's light shines in on it and the whole thing glows. It's beautiful.
yeah.
I get it. That's art. It's
No,
like,
that's just because it's a Ferrari, Joe.
What?
That's just because it's a Ferrari. You looked at it, you saw the angels.
Well, that's it. There's that too, right? And that's the whole thing. As myself, if I'm going to collect Ferrari, I'm better off buying a Carrera, because that's for me, it's an officially licensed product.
Yeah.
There's a specific Ferrari that comes out that I want. Like if they came out with Testarossas and F40s, I'd nab that. I love my Revo slot F40s.
So the 512 is not produced
on it.
But the 512 is not produced by any official licensed producer. So how are you going to get a 512 then?
It's produced by Slotted.
Slotted?
It's produced by a Ferrari family member. It's produced by a Ferrari.
I don't remember Slotted making one. But anyway, like what I'm trying to tell you is, like, you want to collect Ferrari. It's like, ask Massimo will be a great person to ask about this, because Massimo travels the ends of the earth to find F1 cars. And this year, he's going very broke because there's a lot of F1 being released because of the hype.
It is.
Right? But like it's crazy how far he's traveled to get his F1 collection. And some of the prices are not that cheap. I'll tell you that much. Because, when you're a collector, you'll go to the ends of the earth to find things.
But
I remember, because I was looking for a Lewis Hamilton F1. I spent almost $300 on the Lewis Hamilton F1. And it's not even a car that I've removed from the box. I think it's an SCX too. Right? So, like, it's when you're looking for something that you know is going to be rare to find, and you're willing to pay the price. At the end of the day, that's what a collector is. They don't really look at the price and say, oh, this car came out at this price. Why am I paying? They're like, no, I need that car now. I need to fill this void in my collection. I need that to fill the void. What is the price? Right? It's like Lego. If you want to build every Lego city, you will go, like, I spent double of, like, what I'm doing with my Lego collection. I'm selling it. You think I'm getting what I got for the Lego? No. Because when I wanted to buy that corner garage, it cost me a lot more than it was worth, right?
And I think that's what I think the majority of us here, we love looking at the cars. We have the bonus of being able to race them and to look at them actually go around the track and build a bit of a scenery and have that, and that's why they become toys, right? Because you actually, versus a model collector who would just put them in a shelf and look and be like, hey, I have this collection. I get to look at it whenever I want. I don't have to spend so much money in my garage to actually have the car. Then you have the people in that price point who just collect cars, the actual cars, which is a different, we're hobbyist collectors. And I get exactly what you're saying 100%. I'm just saying that, like,
Well,
sometimes
I'll tell you why. As a
it's a little
stock,
ridiculous, and there's no conformity. This stock
Yep.
market of prices doesn't make any sense,
Well, that's
and I don't think it's fair to the rest
like
of us who just want the cars to run.
as Raul said, it's supply and demand, and then there's obviously an intrinsic value to it. Tojo just had a comment there. Todd says the collectors will always pay the premium prices no matter the hobby, which is true.
Yeah.
And it's not a case of that I don't think the vendors or retailers are putting it out there. You know, at a maximum price. I mean, they can look at last sold and worth point and all those other references to say, okay, my car is used. It's not new. Um, it has minimal laps, but it is a collector 250 GTO Carrera that was an exclusive, released in 2008. You can't get them anymore. I haven't seen one on eBay in the last year. Where should I price it? Last one sold for 179 3 years ago.
hmm
So what do? You put it at 250, 260? Are you leaving money on the table? It's a guessing game. It's speculative. So, does somebody want that car?
Are you
Sure,
willing to put
people out there.
Are you willing to put a car at a high price and let it sit on your shelf and take up stock space, or would you rather move the product and get into the
but
hands
he's
of
a
somebody?
retailer, not a collector,
I'm,
dude.
I'm both.
He's
But
both.
Yeah, but
that's the
okay.
thing.
So
But
ask Warren.
they're two
Warren,
separate things. Try and
Warren,
separate that, right?
Warren,
Yeah.
can I ask you about something?
Go
If
ahead.
I came to you today and said I want that Audi IMSA 90,
Yeah.
how much are you willing to sell it for?
Oh my God.
Are you gonna say it at the price that I see online, like when it first came out, Warren?
What they?
Put him on the
Oh,
spot. See,
You know what?
because
I've
he's a
had people
collector,
call me. I've
you
had people
can't
call
do
me
it.
and they said
Can't
that
do
they
it.
looked online and they're like, "Oh, you've got this car for $129," and I saw it on. I'm going to call them out for this because they haven't cleaned up their website. I've seen it on Carrera Slots for $35. I was like, that was $35 in 2015 when and it's an evolution, right? So it's like,
But I see that's the spot, right? Like I know what I want. I
Mhm.
know in the 132nd that IMSA 90 is so important to me because it fills a void that I have for a certain car in my hobby.
yeah,
I would be willing to pay for it.
yeah,
But that doesn't mean that I expect you to sell it at rock bottom prices just because I want it,
no,
right?
no,
And
no,
that's what I'm trying to say. As a retailer, you're a retailer.
yeah,
Would you want to sell that? That's part of your collection. Would you want to sell it first of all? I don't know. It's tough, right?
yeah. Well,
It's
you and
a
I know
tough.
each other. I have that car, so
Yeah.
we can talk. We can talk about it. Obviously, stuff happens. You never know, but it is part. It's one of those like cars that you just want to have, whether it drives good or not. You know,
Yeah.
I can look at the 3D printed bodies for it, and they're God, they just want so much money.
I
For
look at it like this, like when I want, like when I want a car that I know from my personal history, like the UL Kankanen Toyota Celica, right,
Mhm,
which I owned as a child, when I was back in Kenya.
Mhm.
When I saw that livery at Electric Dreams, it was funny. I was at Electric Dreams, I was comparing prices because at that time I was starting to be a bit more price conscious in my way I was looking at the hobby, and
mhm,
I was looking, oh, this Charger, we had the General Lee, and if you know, I collect all the General Lees, and there was the glow in the dark one, and I went there, and I remember seeing glow in the dark at Lakota Collectibles, or
mhm.
what are they called now?
Great tradition. Great
Great
traditions.
Traditions, right?
Their
And
store.
I remember seeing it for
Their eBay.
59 US dollars, right?
Mhm,
And then was Electric Dreams. I think Marco had it at 75 US dollars or something like that. And I was like, I'll just wait and go back home, not thinking about the shipping and everything else, right? I could get it right there and then and pick it up, right? So at
Mhm.
that moment in time, I looked at that car. I was like, nah, I'll think about it. But when I saw the Celica, which was your Kankanen Celica, I didn't even think about it. I just picked it up, put it on the shelf.
right.
There was no asking price. There was no asking anything. I just knew that car had to be in my collection. That was it.
Goes in your basket.
Yeah, you don't think about it at
You're
that
coming
point,
home with me.
right? Yeah, and that's where if you're a smart retailer, you'll understand it. If you really know, because I used to run my own hobby shop in 2005, right? When I was in wargaming and everything, and I had my full bone. But if you're not with it, if you're not on the cusp of what's hot in the hobby, you'll price yourself out of the market, right?
Mhm.
It's simple as that. Your hobby shop needs to make money to survive. And if
Yeah.
you do not know what's hot, what's not, you're gonna just if you're going by MSRP by the dealers, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
There's no way you're gonna be
No,
in
well,
business.
that's the thing, right? Because some of those bigger guys could engage, and this is what like a lot of the like I've had conversations with other people in the other dealers in the hobby and the rest of it. And you don't want to be in a race to the bottom, right? Because inevitably the little guys are going to get hurt. They'll get squashed because the big guys are can do higher volumes better, and granted with their their bigger purchasing power, they can negotiate better discounts than us small guys because we can only do so much volume. It's like I they can where they can do so much more. So yeah, you want to get into a pricing war? No. Is it good for everybody? No. What
Yeah, the
happens
moment
when
you get
you lose that whole variety of dealers, and then everybody's like, oh, I remember Jim's shop, and Jim was so great. Jim was a good guy, and what an awesome place. And it's such a pity it's gone. That's why I say support your local dealer. And yes, you can do it online too. You know what I mean? But support the local dealers. Support like I buy from. There's a bunch of shops I buy from, and I still purchase from them, and I support them. And then
a
there's
nice logo, isn't it?
entities that I will not buy from out of principle, just because it's like I don't want to support big multinational conglomerates or entities that are overseas. Via the interweb they're engaged in whatever. I don't want to get into it, but the fact of the matter is that they're just rock bottom prices. So if that's all you care about, saving $1, you know, go ahead. But you're that's not that doesn't help the hobby. It doesn't help the hobby for sure. But and it doesn't help
So then,
people.
what can we expect then? Let's get to this because we're
What can
um,
you expect for what?
for the new cars. What's official? Is it official prices are going up, Warren? Is there anything you can tell
Oh,
us? What can we
absolutely.
expect?
Like yeah, there was a thread. And I've been so busy. I'm sorry that I didn't. I should have read it. But there was a thread where somebody on one of the stock car groups, and it was in Canada, where he was saying, "Oh, retailers are engaged in some kind of fear
FOMO, fear of
tactic,
missing out.
saying you need to buy because the prices are going up." And so I just read the first couple comments. There was so many comments I couldn't get through the whole thing. But basically, I was like, you're calling out the retailers, saying that they're saying buy before the increase, because it's literally on every news station. It's not like it's a conspiracy theory.
Mhm.
They've told us you're getting 25% tariff. They've told us everything from. I just got parts from NSR from Italy. They came from Italy. I got charged 25% because they taxed it. They taxed it. I had to. They called me to pay the brokerage, and they said, and the import duty, and they said it's 25% because it's car parts, and I'm like, it's not car parts.
If you
I'm like,
want to know, if you
it's
want to
toy
know,
car parts. They're like, they said it's car parts, and I'm like, it's toy car parts. Toy car parts. Go look. Look. They looked in there. They're okay.
if you want to talk about gouging, you should talk about UPS and
Oh my
FedEx
goodness!
and
Exactly.
those guys. Those are the
Exactly.
gougers. Those are the people that hurt us, our hobby most.
$47.
Both ways. Yes. Both
$47 for
both
one car
9.99.
at
I know
my door.
And it's for nothing.
those
It's for
I know
air.
two people this week that got wholly hosed. Hosed is a Canadian term for bent over. Got hosed on shipping and brokerage. I'm sorry that when I heard their stories, I was like, oh my god, man, that's horrible.
The 3D printer I got from the States was shipped to me, fully built. Okay, you can't lift it. You need two people because it was in a box. It costs $50 to ship it from Pirate Ship. Okay,
Pirate
It's called
Bay.
Pirate
Yeah,
Ship from the States. Got $50 to ship it to me. My cousin spent it. I had $67 of fees at the door.
wow.
My
So the
cousin was like, "What, you paid
brokerage was
$67?"
more than the shipping.
Well, that's it. He goes, "I don't understand." He goes, "This cost me $50 to ship it." Man, in a whole bout. This isn't like a slot car. And then the other day I got a slot car from Big Oak. That was $47 for a box, a Carrera box.
U.S.
Well, whatever. No,
No,
Canadian.
Canadian.
Was
You
it
know
Canadian?
why? Because they had to touch it, Joe. They had to actually take that
No,
parcel, pick it up, and put it here.
It's
So it's
because
a
they have an
handling
office
fee.
at the border. So instead
no.
of doing the customs at their shop, they have to pay for the heating, the coffee, the smoke
Yeah.
breaks. And
No,
you
no,
guys,
no, no, no.
Anyway, there
It's
you go.
no. That's the whole thing. Is like I know here in Windsor, they hired 150 new CBSA border officers, and they're literally checking every single shipment. They got them at the post office. They got them at UPS. They got them at all the distribution centers. They're checking everything, and because our government said we're in a tariff war, we're going to tariff the hell out. The thing is, who suffers? We do. All of us. We suffer at the end of the day. Not it's not, it's not doing anything for our we're paying it, and we're the ones that suffer, so that they can have their tariff war because they want to prove their their objectives on the other end, one way or another. And it's not, the thing is, for me as a Canadian, it's my government's taxing me. That has nothing to do with, I don't hold the US responsible. US is not responsible. The tariffs that are being imposed on us here in Canada are from our government, imposed by our government against us as citizens, to try and compel us not to buy American products, which is absolutely, to me, is undemocratic. It's not. It's nonsense. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on it.
so
But that's what they're doing. They're enforcing it. They're putting it on us, and putting it on everything. So is there going to be price increase? Yes, there's obviously is a price increase because it's a new year. There was going to be a price increase anyway. What the percentage was, that depends on the dollar, the exchange, and all the rest of it. How do I have a price list yet? I believe I just got it. So you know, it doesn't. How much does it go up by?
so what are we looking at? Because I think you were accused of being one of the more expensive shops.
For me?
Yeah, I think you were being
Oh,
accused of being one
well,
of the most
I'd like
expensive
to say.
and
Well, that's
it's in actual not true because you and I go over that
I'd
price
like to
list
go.
almost every
I would call that speculative at best, and it's like my uncle's brother's cousin's dog's friend's aunt said. It's like,
yeah.
you can, accusations on the internet are just that. It's like they can be baseless. You can just say anything these days. So that's sad. That's sad. I'm saddened to hear that somebody actually thinks that. But if you did your research and look at it, I've as competitive as I can be, and then I've got the discount for the guys in the Discord. But that's neither here nor there. I'm trying to build a brand and build a place for people to come race, and that's what I'm going to carry on doing. Is there money in this? No. You guys think I'm getting rich? No. um, but I do it out of the passion and the love for it and the enjoyment of it. And I'm lacking in my YouTube production. I need to do that and put myself out there and have you guys along for that journey, because I really, that part I do enjoy, even though I might muddle through it a lot of time and have technical difficulties. but that's, and so I
Yeah.
appreciate everybody that's been here, and I appreciate everybody that's supported me so far. And I'm gonna tell all of you, you gotta, it's you go with where you buy local. If you can, buy local, support your local guys. For me in Michigan, it's Cloverleaf. Ohio, Cincy slots, I've bought from them. um Professor Mode,
Massachusetts. Yeah,
love them.
Massachusetts.
Slot Car Corner, those guys, those are like the guys in my kind of what do you call it, universe, let's call it that. And then and Ernie,
Mhm.
that's at Scale Auto Racing, Mr. Slot Cars. So Those are the guys I buy from, and then I, you know, 132 slot cars. So, but
Well,
I support. They're all good guys. They've all been in the hobby a long time, and they're grinding it out, and they've got good product and support local. There are big fish out there, but
regardless, right? Like we talk about this stuff, but everyone who is still on the consumer side of it and enjoying the hobby as is
yeah.
always going to shop around.
Morning, MP.
Yeah, morning, MP. How you doing, buddy? What? He's
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
what's the
Shop
problem?
around for sure. Do your homework. And the thing is, I can only speak for Canadians on my my U.S. customers. I haven't heard anybody getting charged tariffs for stuff I've shipped that way. So that's a bonus. If they did, they haven't told me about it. But so far, and I've got great shipping to the States. It is a little slow here and there because what they're doing now is that, like I said, everything's going into warehouses, and then they're checking everything, deciding whether they're tariffing it, and then sending it out. So it's the whole shipping system is the ecosystem is slowed down a little bit. For Canadians coming back, you're going to get nailed with brokerage. So if you want to compare apples with apples, it's like I was just like we were saying. I know of two people this week that got just hosed on the brokerage and the rest of it. Somebody bought a secondhand car that they paid $29 for it. By the time they landed, 29 US. By the time they landed it in Canada, it was $95. I was like, you could have bought a new, and that was for an Evolution with no chip in it. They could have got a digital car, before shipping.
Yeah, they have some weird rules for shipping, like
Shipping's gonna
really
be
weird rules.
where?
When I was buying, so when I used to buy regular from Pendle, like if you bought 4 cars from Pendle, you got dinged heavy on your, like if 4 cars
It's
came in,
the
because
total.
it's a certain threshold limit for dollar.
Yeah,
So if I bought 1 car at a time, I just paid the price plus the shipping, no brokerage fees. But if I bought 4 and combined into a package, I paid the brokerage fees, which was almost the price of the cars.
yeah.
It was ridiculous. And
It's
so you learn these. They have all these weird rules for
that's
shipping.
that. It's value added tax. They have a value
Yeah,
added tax system, and uh, when you go over the threshold, I think it's €60 or whatever, then they start taxing you.
yeah,
There's a differential.
yeah. So all these little tricks. So anyway, I mean,
MP, we're just talking about collecting and price coming in and why certain cars have to be price gouged because they're rare. Raul was trying to school me on the understanding of how economy works, and that's just how it is. It's good. We're having a good time.
well, you should ask MP because MP MP's is
sent an
learning
invite.
about F1 collecting right now.
MP, I
Poor
sent you an
MP.
invite on Messenger. If you have a minute, I know you're working. We had spoken about that. If you have a time, if you got a minute, you want to pop on, no problem. We'll get your input. That'd be great. You have a beautiful collection.
Mhm.
I mean, so does Raul. I mean, Raul, like that's another thing too that I wanted to ask you, right? Like going back to the collection part of it, you have you have all those mini Z's on your shelf and all those rally cars that you've driven. It's nostalgic. It's sentimental to you. Would you have still bought those cars if they were not RC? Would you have bought them?
I've never even raced the Mini Z's. That's the funny part. Was like when
That's my
when I picked up my first Mini Z, I even have a full Mini Z track because I originally wanted to start with Mini Z first before I did slot cars. Because I want everyone needs to understand. Like I always got into slot cars or took these like my collection. You say, why did I collect those cars? Because I want to shoot them in motion. Why did I collect them
You want to
as
should do in
slot
motion.
cars?
Yeah.
I want to shoot them in motion. And the slot car is the most detailed car
Hey,
at
Benny
that
Bennett.
size that can shoot in
How you doing, buddy?
motion. Right? So that's why I bought my collection. That's why I collected a certain cars, and I will continue to shoot those cars in motion as I start to get, bring my track back up online and stuff. But when I bought the Mini Zs, I bought them because I love Mopar, so I bought the Challenger. I love the Toyota Celica. I bought it. Every car I bought there. I love the C9 Sauber. I bought that as well. And that C9 Sauber cost me a lot of money because it was an extended chassis and it was no longer available. And I had to go out and find it. And I found it on a guy in Kijiji, and I paid almost double what it's worth. But that's just the price you pay, right? When you want something, I think. And people will say, okay, that's kind of silly, but there's nothing like somebody wrote in this chat earlier, like when we talk about Sidney Crosby, and he says Sidney Crosby's rookie car is worth 0 to me. Exactly, it's worth 0 to him because he has no affinity to that card at all. Like he has no connection to it, right? If you have no connection to something,
and I totally get that, right? Because I play Magic the Gathering. It's been a while, and there's cards in there that have nothing to do with hockey, have nothing to do with mainstream. It's a very niche game. It's a very popular game. There is one card from the original set from 1993 or 1992 that sold 10 years ago. 10 years ago, it sold on auction for $80,000.
Wow.
This card has original art drawn on it. It's a digital printed card, and that card does something specific that is banned from the game because it's an overpowered card. Now, this is a game that most people, I'm sure in this chat, have no idea what I'm talking about. This is a card game played by teenagers when I was, growing up, and it's still going on today. I'm sure I have cards in my collection that are worth $400 or $500.
So you are saying that you are a super geek?
I am a super geek. I have binders of this stuff, but it's like
That's
there's
awesome.
an actual market. There's a sole market for this specific game, and it's only. And people be like, why would you spend $50 on a piece of cardboard? I'm like, because the card to me has value in this world. Because if I ever went to a tournament, I could, boom, here's my 50, and then someone else is going to come in and be like, yeah, well, here's my $2,000 card, and drop it down, and whatever. Anyways,
I have a friend.
I understand this concept. What drives me mad is the licensing. There's so many different layers in slot cars, and it's like, just because this car is red, which that one price is fine, 109, it's a fair price, I get it, but it's everyone else. It's like, oh, I'm in eBay, and eBay, you can sell for whatever, and it can sit there for whatever. So because one guy has the opportunity to have it collect dust on his shelf, he's like, one day someone's going to pick it up. But I think that this is going to stop happening because there's going to be younger and younger people coming into the hobby.
That's fishermen.
Let's go back.
About 512.
Let's go back there. Let's go back there. Rewind your statement. Younger and younger people coming into the hobby.
Yeah.
I just said to Pete, people are getting priced out of this hobby. The younger and younger people don't have the free capital to get into this hobby. You're making a big mistake if you're targeting the younger audience, because the younger audience cannot afford.
I don't mean younger people. I mean the people who are getting, because I still think the Carrera did an absolute fantastic job, and I know Warren and I, we had a word about this with their Carrera Go from Costco, and we have a guy who started a YouTube channel, something photography, Hanon Photography, and he said it. He goes, I saw this at Costco, and what was going on? And I think we'll get into that in a second. What I say by younger, I mean that age group that can afford these cars are coming in, and they might not be as nostalgic as racing. I'm not a racer. Slot cars got me into racing. I'm starting to appreciate racing now because of slot cars. I just enjoyed the arcade aspect of it, and I got into 132 digital. Whoa! I remember, kid, and we, without going to that, we've all been there. But I am now getting into racing. Michael Fassbender drove this car. I now have an appreciation more for this car than I did before. So it drives me nuts that I got the missing tooth here, that it cracked. But other than that, it's starting to grow. So I think there's going to be more and more people like that. I mean, the youngest is, Pete Show Me Slot Cars is still under 40. Massimo is still under 40. These are the young guys in the hobby. But Massimo comes from, and I don't want to talk for him, but he comes from a racing background, karting and professional racing and championships. And there's a difference. He's got that feel for it. He loves the F1. It's not that many people out there that are going to get into it, because when you're in that racing world, slot cars is not your go-to to be like, oh, I can race slot cars instead of championship. They go on to other things. So it's when I say younger, I mean guys coming. Those are the people coming into the hobby now, and there's going to be a turnover of those kids getting that set now from Costco. That's going to remind them 10 years later or 30 years later.
They'll have that memory.
Right? Trains aren't going anywhere. There are hobby shops closing down, but that's because of economy. But trains aren't going anywhere. People love building models.
Mhm.
I don't think it's ever going to die. I just think that it's this thing of like a car. Some new people are going to come in and they're going to see that car that's red. They're gonna be like, I'm not buying that.
You
I'll
know,
just
I
buy
used
yours.
to think I'm gonna say this. I used to think wargaming was expensive. Slot cars is way more expensive.
Yeah, it's
way more.
I don't think
Way more.
Electric has a future if they keep their prices this high for North America.
Yeah.
For North America,
Yeah.
personally, you know,
Scale Electric is a hard one.
yes.
You know,
Telling me to spend $300. Their models are nice, not that nice.
they,
You
they,
still can't get the Batman unless you buy Skeletric.
the
I'm
thing.
sorry, I was not impressed. I saw the Batman up close, and there could have been a lot more detail to that car.
What,
I'm sorry.
what about the Lamborghinis? Are the Lamborghinis not pretty?
The Lamborghinis are pretty, but
Have you driven them or no?
yes, I've driven them. I won't take out the magnets. They're really nice. They're nostalgic.
Mhm.
I'll race them when the cousins come over. Hey, we're racing Lamborghinis, just to say, hey, we race Lamborghinis. Now take them off the track because I don't want you to scratch them and they go back on the shelf.
Yeah.
So, but they are not. Yeah, dude, it looks great. But you want to compare? This slotted here destroys those Lamborghinis. I'm sorry. What I love about Scale Electric though is that they come with the lights, and it's like beautiful.
Well, then that's what you got it. But that's part of the natural evolution of the hobby, because then what you do is you put lights in your car. Get yourself this slot. It makes a lighting kit. I can't remember the name of it right now. But
we were just talking about him. We were just talking about you, Hanola, and about your video. Excellent. Thank you for joining.
But go put a lighting kit in the car. It doesn't take a lot, and you don't need like super fantastic electrical skills. You just need to. They're actually plug and play on the slotted stuff. It's plug and play. I have the lighting kit over there. The lighting kit's sitting over
What are
there.
you talking about? Do you know how much I appreciate lights already pre-built into the car? I
I
burned
know.
Nico's lighting kit twice, not once,
I
twice.
know. But
That's just Joe being Joe. There
you can get, and then somebody was talking to me about it the other day, and they were like, "Oh, and I went through all the lighting kits, and I was like, hey, dude, I was like, if you're comfortable with a, and I'm talking myself out of business. I said, if you're comfortable with a soldering iron, get some LEDs and throw it in. There's lots of, and I suggested they go to Home Racing World because there's lots of information there about how to solder up some lights and set up your car. So
if I got to do that, I got to do that soon because I don't know these shaky.
Worth every penny, Joe. Worth every penny.
Yeah, to you, but honestly, I saw
every penny, every single dollar, dime, penny.
Because no one else is doing it. But honestly, I'm sorry. They could have done a better job with the details.
I'm sorry, I don't. Show me someone who does it better, and I'll buy it.
They could have at least put a light in the back of it.
You want light, Joe? Just go buy this one then.
Talking about things not on the website, I have a bunch of these.
Those are cool.
Oh, I have those too, Warren. You know that.
You do?
I actually have the ones originally out of the set.
Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original one out of the set.
The mango or papaya?
Yeah, the original ones that come in the set. You know the original sets. Yeah, I have those. I picked them up at the slot
was that one of them? The black label and the other one
the 91710 and then the McLaren. Yeah.
Nick, I wish they would do color front lights. They do. If you on Discord, if you check out our
yes,
good friend Daniel Thomas, Daniel, if you're still watching, put your link, or Nick, go check him out. He put him in the what's it called? I can't even remember my own categories. The scratch building, I believe, or the scenery. He did the lights. There's an easy hack for that, for the different colored lights. And they do. I think, which is the company that sells the different colored lights? Is it Area 71?
This one has the Knight Rider light. Come on, you can't. Yeah, come on.
I can hear the sound.
Exactly.
It's the sound.
There we go. See, so that's why Skeletric will be around in my collection.
I'm still not buying Knight Rider for $300. Like that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
They've got some, they put out some cool liveries. They got some new stuff for this year, but in general, you got to wonder about that price point, because a lot of their things are just re-releases with new liveries, and it's like they must have paid for the tooling by this point. But who am I to question? I'm not the tail that wags the dog.
Yeah. Thanks, G Money. G Money SmackDown says they're really cool, and his method is super easy to make the color lights. Yeah. So Nick, if you have a chance, by all means, it's in the Discord. And anybody else who hasn't joined the Discord, please do. It's in the description. We're all having a great time. Hanolo Photography is a new channel. Please go check him out. We were just talking about you, about how you saw the Costco Carrera go, and that threw you down the tumble and down the rabbit hole. And then you got that beautiful track right behind you, and he's got a cam on there. It's great.
Yep, Kirby, Nick,
Warren. So those Lamborghinis again, and I want to just say this because we're coming on to we just passed the hour mark, so we got to wrap it up. But those Lamborghinis that you got at first, you said, "Oh, get the Walter Wolf edition."
Yeah.
Okay, and this is another example of the new guys like me coming in. I'm like, "Who's Walter Wolf?" And then this whole thing about how he's basically saved Lamborghini, an Austrian from Canada. Canadian from Austria, or I forget. Anyways, whatever. That was a whole great series. So now I have a better appreciation for the car and the fact that I have that model. Because originally I thought it was black, and you're like, no, it's kind of like a dark blue, and I'm like, I don't want a navy blue, but now I do, and I'm glad I have that. And then I got to see that
color.
My uncle who came over. I'm like, hey, I got the Walter Wolf edition, and he's like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, okay, let's talk about it. And you need to know this about Lamborghini to appreciate it more. Yeah. Now, that being said, you guys have to, and of course, Warren leaves. Warren's
going to get a car, dude.
Yeah, Warren knows his stuff. Warren has.
There you go.
See, I knew the green one. Warren knows his stuff. If you guys call him, if there's something you don't see, if there's something specifically that you are looking for, I have learned not to ask Warren for anything because he will find it. This is Warren's gift and curse for me at the same time. If you're looking for something specific,
quick tip, Joe. You see that Lamborghini? You should buy it for the gold wheels and then buy the red Ferrari, and then take those wheels on the red Ferrari. Then you have your Ferrari that you want.
I hope MP is not listening. I will never disgrace a Ferrari by putting Lamborghini wheels on it. Thank you very much. There you go. Warren.
Mamma mia.
Did you hear this guy?
Mamma mia.
Did you hear this guy?
You're going to be in trouble.
What's the matter with you? Oh, why don't you put Lamborghini wheels on a Ferrari?
Well,
I'd rather race a Hyundai.
Them.
It's okay.
Raul, you were talking about the Kyoshas. I used to do the Kyosha one, and I loved them because you could, right out of the box, you just put the batteries in, and it was like plug and play and go.
Yeah, whatever, MP. Get on here, and then we'll talk. I have no doubt we can talk about who's.
I sent them the link, but I think we got to wrap it up, guys. It's been well. I'm gonna go around again. Raul, you have anything else that you want to add or pin into this conversation?
No, you're wrong. That's it, Joe.
You're wrong. Okay, thank you. I knew that was coming. Yeah. Warren, you want to do a little promotion? You want to say what's up? You want to say what we can expect from you?
I'm going to try and get everything that I've got here. I'm still unpacking up on the website, and if you guys are local or anywhere near me, come visit, come hang out. Give me a shout. I'm here. This is one of the reasons that I opened this too. Was the wife was because I had the small store, but it was like a satellite, and I was at home and at the small store. At home, and she's like, she's like, get out of, because remember you used to see the bar behind me.
Yeah,
it's like get out of my dining room.
So you're conducting business.
Now I got a big space.
That's it, and everything, and all the cars are in one spot. So then when when you're looking for stuff, and
you can come here and go. Ooh.
I like this one. I agree. I totally agree. We should take a vote.
May 24th is my big. I have a big weekend. That's so you come down for that.
No, I'm coming down for sure. I'm gonna. MP, what are you talking about? Why should my GRL? No, you mean Monday Night Madness? That's what he's talking about. He's talking about Monday Night Madness. I don't think he's
It's a
talking about
Monday
the
Night Madness.
Jen.
But yeah,
Empty dropping bombs
all
in the
your
chat.
runs, every run that you do should be disqualified, Joe. That's it.
There are big things coming for the GRL, and that's what we're going to be discussing in about 10 minutes.
Big things coming.
But a lot of changes, a lot of change. No, I'm just, whatever. I got a meeting with those guys, halfway point meeting.
He wants to be
okay,
more.
so guys, check out Warren, please. LitexSlots.ca, IRR10. First three letters of my last name, IRR10, gets you 10%. As always. And just talk to Warren. He'll give you a good deal. He always does. I mean, I wouldn't be buying from him. We wouldn't have been friends.
Especially you Canadians, save that brokerage money.
Yeah. Do you think? Let's promote you a little bit more. Do you think Americans buying from you would actually save money because of the exchange?
My calculator it's weird because they're it's automatic, so there's always like a $2 to $5 difference in the pricing. But if you use the coupon code, it should bring it in line. And then on some of my prices, I know, like I sold out of the green monsters. This one, somebody already bought it. But I sold out of these because I didn't even know that they discontinued it. And some of the other guys,
I got a couple.
They jacked their prices up, and they were going for $149.
Remember when I bought? Do you guys remember back in the day when the Green Monster came out? How many I bought?
Yeah,
because everyone was like, "How come you have so many green monsters?" And nobody understood. When I fall in love with livery, I buy multiples of it.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're part of the problem.
I don't care. I never asked anyone.
He's speculating.
Yeah.
You guys want to speculate? Let's talk about Bitcoin.
Let's get out of here.
Buy it.
Well, you know what you bought out? Raul, you know what you bought out? Remember back in the day when you were on that live? You know what you bought out? You bought out freaking Slot Invasion rear axle kits.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I have 50 of them.
Yeah, and you know what? I went on his site. You're only allowed one per customer now. Thank you very much because of you.
That's because I bought out his whole shipment.
Guys, thank you so much for being here.
And all of them are still new, Joe. You've seen them. I have
you're going to send me some of those. You're going to have to send me some of those.
Nope.
Yeah, nope. Warren, thank you so much. That spreadsheet out there. I hope you guys give Warren a call.
I like the way people call it the Green Monster. It was my name for it, Green Monster.
Yes. I always call it the Green Monster. It's
yeah. Just remember that.
No, it's not the Green Monster anymore. This is the Michael Fassbender. It is worth more.
If you had watched my video, you would have known that.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Guys, thank you so much. Everyone have a great weekend. We will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Cheers.